The Making of a Queen, Beyoncé's Journey to Greatness. Before the Grammys, the record-breaking albums, and the billion-dollar empire, Beyoncé was just a girl from Houston with a dream. From an early age, she showed an extraordinary talent, but her journey to the top was anything but easy. The talent was there, but the road was rough. The success came, but so did the struggles. And fate tested her resilience before she could rise as a solo powerhouse. This is the story of Beyoncé Giselle Knowles, the girl who refused to settle for anything less than greatness. A star in the making. Beyoncé's early years. Beyoncé was born on the 4th of September, 1981 in Houston, Texas. From the very beginning, music was at the center of her life. Her mother, Tina Knowles, was a talented fashion designer and a strong role model. Her father, Matthew Knowles, was a visionary businessman with big ambition. And Beyoncé, a shy little girl with a voice that could move mountains. Her parents quickly realized that she wasn't like other kids. At just 7 years old, Beyoncé entered a local talent competition, performing Imagine by John Lennon. She won first place, beating contestants twice her age. The audience was stunned by her vocal ability. In that moment, Beyoncé knew she was born for the stage. But talent alone wasn't enough. Her father, Matthew, believed that if Beyoncé wanted to be the best, she had to work harder than anyone else. So, he put her through a grueling training routine that would shape her into the unstoppable performer we know today. Girls' Time, Beyoncé's first attempt at success. At just 9 years old, Beyoncé formed her first group, Girls' Time, alongside a few other young singers. They rehearsed every single day, mastering their vocals and choreography. Matthew Knowles quit his job to manage the group full-time. His mission? Turn Beyoncé and the girls into the biggest stars in the world. Their first big break came when Girls' Time competed on Star Search, the biggest talent show on television at the time. But in a shocking twist, they lost. For Beyoncé, it was devastating. She locked herself in a room for days, crying uncontrollably. She questioned if she was really meant to be a star. But instead of giving up, she turned that pain into motivation. If I want to be the best, I have to outwork everyone. And that's exactly what she did. The birth of Destiny's Child, a game changer. After the Star Search loss, Matthew Knowles restructured the group. He reduced the lineup to focus on Beyoncé, Kelly Rowland, and a few other members. The group was renamed Destiny's Child, inspired by a passage in the Bible. They started performing at local events, radio shows, and small concerts. Then, in 1997, the moment they had been waiting for finally arrived. Destiny's Child signed a major record deal with Columbia Records. Their first album made an impact, but it was their second album, The Writings on the Wall, 1999, that changed everything. The breakout hits, Bills, Bills, Bills. Their first #1 hit, showing the world their fierce attitude and vocal power. Say My Name, a Grammy-winning anthem that became a cultural phenomenon. Jumpin', Jumpin', a club banger that dominated the charts. Destiny's Child was now one of the biggest girl groups in the world. And Beyoncé, she was emerging as the undeniable leader, the voice, and the face of the group. But fame came with its own challenges. Behind the scenes, internal conflicts and lineup changes led to drama and lawsuits. Beyoncé started to realize that her future wasn't just with Destiny's Child, future was in her own name. Coming up next, the solo takeover, Beyoncé claims her throne. Destiny's Child made Beyoncé a superstar. But she wasn't satisfied. She wanted to prove that she could stand on her own. But could Beyoncé truly succeed as a solo artist? In the next chapter, we'll explore how she conquered Hollywood and made her acting debut. The release of Dangerously in Love, the album that made her a solo legend. Her relationship with Jay-Z and how it shaped her empire. Beyonce was about to dominate the world, and this was just the beginning. The solo takeover, Beyonce claims her throne. Destiny's Child had made Beyonce a global star, but she knew her true destiny was bigger. Going solo was a massive risk. Would fans accept her without Destiny's Child? Would she live up to the hype, or would she fail on her own? There was only one way to find out. Beyonce had to prove herself. And when she finally stepped into the spotlight alone, the world wasn't ready for what she was about to do. Stepping into Hollywood, a star beyond music, before releasing her solo album, Beyonce wanted to expand her empire. So she took on a new challenge acting. In 2002, she made her Hollywood debut in Austin Powers and Goldmember, playing Foxy Cleopatra, a fierce, stylish, and unforgettable character. The movie was a box office hit, grossing over $296 million worldwide. Beyonce's performance proved that she had natural charisma on screen. It gave her massive exposure, making her name even bigger outside of music. But movies were just a stepping stone, because in 2003, Beyonce was about to release an album that would change music forever. Dangerously in Love, the album that made her a solo legend. On the 24th of June, 2003, Beyonce released her debut solo album, Dangerously in Love. And the world stopped and listened. The album was a masterpiece, blending R&B, hip-hop, and soul with Beyonce's powerful vocals and emotional depth. The era-defining hits: Crazy in Love feat. Jay-Z, a song so explosive that it was instantly called one of the greatest singles of all time. Baby Boy feat. Sean Paul, a Caribbean infused anthem that dominated the charts. Naughty Girl, a seductive dance track that showcased her confidence and star power. Me, Myself, and I, a powerful ballad about independence and self-worth. The album was a critical and commercial success. It sold over 11 million copies worldwide. It won 5 Grammy Awards, including Best Contemporary R&B Album. It solidified Beyonce as the new queen of R&B. Her mission was complete. Beyonce was no longer just the former lead singer of Destiny's Child. She was now a global superstar in her own right. And she was just getting started. The power couple, Beyonce and Jay-Z, take over. One of the biggest turning points in Beyonce's life was her relationship with Jay-Z. The two met in the early 2000s and kept their romance low-key. By the time Crazy in Love was released, it was clear that they were more than just collaborators. They became the most powerful couple in music, blending their talents and influence. Unlike other celebrity relationships, Beyonce and Jay-Z kept their love life private, avoiding the usual Hollywood drama. But behind the scenes, they were building an empire that would soon dominate the industry. Coming up next, the Sasha Fierce era. Beyonce becomes unstoppable. After Dangerously in Love, Beyonce was on top of the world. But she was not satisfied, she wanted more. In the next chapter, we'll explore how she reinvented herself with Sasha Fierce, the release of Bidet, I Am, Sasha Fierce, and the global smash hit, Single Ladies. How she became a symbol of female empowerment and cultural dominance. Beyonce was no longer just a singer, she was becoming a movement. The Sasha Fierce era, when Beyonce became unstoppable. By the mid-2000s, Beyonce had already proven herself as a solo superstar. But she wasn't just here to succeed, she was here to dominate. She wanted to push boundaries, explore new sounds, and elevate her performance to a whole new level. And to do that, she created an alter ego or persona that was bold, fearless, and completely unstoppable. This was the birth of Sasha Fierce. And with this transformation, Beyonce went from being one of the biggest artists in the world to the undisputed queen of pop and R&B. The Bidet era a celebration of power. In 2006, Beyoncé released Bidet, an album that was fierce, confident, and full of energy. This album was a celebration of womanhood, success, and independence, marking a turning point in her career. The hits that define an era: Deja Vu feat. Jay-Z, a high-energy track that reunited her with Jay-Z, proving their chemistry was still magnetic. Irreplaceable, an empowering breakup anthem that became a cultural phenomenon. To the left, Beautiful Liar, feat. Shakira. A sultry collaboration that blended Latin and R&B influences. The album was a huge commercial success. Debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200, Beyoncé had fully stepped into her power, but she wasn't done evolving. Because next, she would introduce Sasha Fierce, the persona that would define her as a global icon. The birth of Sasha Fierce, a new Beyoncé emerges. By 2008, Beyoncé wanted to take her artistry to another level. She had always been known for her flawless performances, but she felt like she had two sides to her personality. The real Beyoncé, who was soft-spoken and introverted. The fierce, dominant performer who commanded the stage with raw power. So she introduced Sasha Fierce, a bold and unapologetic alter ego. Her album, I Am, Sasha Fierce reflected this duality. The I Am side was soft, emotional, and personal. The Sasha Fierce side was powerful, aggressive, and designed for the stage. This album produced some of the biggest hits of her career. The songs that took over the world. If I Were a Boy, a heartbreaking ballad about gender roles and relationships. Halo, one of her most emotional and powerful vocal performances. Diva, a bold anthem celebrating female strength. Sweet Dreams, a hypnotic electro-pop hit. And then there was the song that became a global movement, Single Ladies, the song that defined a generation. In 2008, Beyoncé released Single Ladies, put a ring on it, and the world went crazy. The song's infectious beat and empowering message made it an instant classic. The black and white music video featuring Beyoncé and two backup dancers became one of the most imitated performances of all time. The dance routine was copied by celebrities, fans, and even politicians. The song won multiple Grammys, top charts worldwide, and became a cultural phenomenon. At this point, Beyoncé wasn't just a superstar, she was the biggest entertainer in the world. Coming up next, Beyoncé takes control. Business, feminism, and the power move of a lifetime. After Sasha Fierce, Beyoncé was ready for a new challenge. In the next chapter, we explore how she took full control of her career by parting ways with her father as a manager, her evolution into a feminist icon and cultural leader, the next albums that redefined music and visual storytelling. Beyoncé was no longer just an artist, she was becoming a movement. Beyoncé takes control. Business, feminism, and the power move of a lifetime. By 2010, Beyoncé had already conquered the music industry. She had dominated the charts, set new standards for live performances, created anthems that defined a generation. But now, she wanted more than just success, she wanted control. For years, her career had been managed by her father, Matthew Knowles. He had guided her from the early days of Destiny's Child. He had overseen every major business decision. He had helped her become the biggest pop star in the world. But Beyoncé was ready to break free. In 2011, she made a move that would change everything. She fired her own father as her manager. It was a bold, risky decision. But it was also the moment Beyoncé transformed from a superstar into a cultural powerhouse. The business empire, Beyoncé, the CEO. After parting ways with her father, Beyoncé took full control of her brand. She became her own manager. A strategic businesswoman. of a visionary who controlled every aspect of her career. She built Parkwood Entertainment, her own company that handled music production, tour management, film projects, brand deals, and sponsorships. This was unheard of for a pop star. Most artists relied on powerful industry executives to make decisions. Beyoncé became her own executive, and that decision changed music forever. Beyoncé, the feminist, a voice for women. As she took control of her career, Beyoncé also became a stronger voice for women's empowerment. In 2013, she sampled Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's speech in Flawless, declaring, "We should all be feminists." She performed at the 2014 MTV VMAs in front of a giant screen that read "Feminist." She released songs like "Run the World," "Girls in Formation," turning her music into anthems of empowerment. This wasn't just about music anymore. Beyoncé had become a symbol of strength, independence, and female power. The self-titled album, a game-changing power move. By 2013, Beyoncé had mastered the industry. But she was about to break the rules again. That year, she did something no pop star had ever done before. No promotion, no lead single, no warning. At midnight on the 13th of December, 2013, she dropped Beyoncé a full album with 14 songs and 17 music videos. It was a shock to the industry. No artist had ever released an entire visual album without any marketing. But Beyoncé proved that she didn't need traditional promotion. Her name alone was enough. The album went #1 immediately. It sold over 800,000 copies in 3 days. It set a new standard for album releases. From that moment on, surprise album drops became a trend. And once again, Beyoncé changed the game. Coming up next, Lemonade, the album that shook the world. After Beyoncé, fans thought she had done it all. But in 2016, she released Lemonade, an album that was not just music, but a cultural event. It addressed infidelity, betrayal, and Black womanhood. It sparked global conversations about her marriage to Jay-Z. It became one of the most critically acclaimed albums of all time. Beyoncé was no longer just an artist, she was a movement. Lemonade, the album that shook the world. By 2016, Beyoncé had already reinvented the music industry multiple times, but she wasn't done yet. She was about to release an album that was bigger than music, an album that told a story of love and betrayal, pain and healing, a Black womanhood and resilience. This was Lemonade. And when it dropped, it didn't just break records, it started a revolution. The visual masterpiece, Lemonade as a film. On the 23rd of April, 2016, Beyoncé released Lemonade as a full-length visual album on HBO. This was more than just a collection of songs, it was a cinematic experience. Each song was paired with stunning visuals that told a deeper story. The film blended poetry, history, and personal storytelling. It was raw, emotional, and unapologetically powerful. The album's themes resonated with millions of women around the world, especially Black women. Beyoncé wasn't just singing about her own struggles, was singing about an entire culture's pain and triumph. The infidelity rumors. Did Jay-Z betray Beyoncé? One of the most shocking parts of Lemonade was its brutally honest lyrics about betrayal. Lines like, "You can taste the dishonesty, it's all over your breath, pray you catch me." What a wicked way to treat the girl that loves you. Hold up. "He only want me when I'm not there. He better call Becky with the good hair." Sorry. Fans immediately speculated that Jay-Z had cheated on Beyoncé. The phrase "Becky with the good hair" became an internet sensation. The media exploded with rumors about Jay-Z's infidelity. People wondered if Beyoncé was about to leave him forever. Jay-Z later admitted to cheating, confirming that Lemonade was deeply personal. But instead of breaking up, Beyonce and Jay-Z worked through their issue of turning their pain into art, business, and power. The music that defined an era, Lemonade wasn't just a cultural moment, it was a musical masterpiece. The iconic songs. Formation, a bold anthem celebrating Black identity, Southern roots, and female power. Sorry, the ultimate breakup revenge song, complete with the legendary line, middle fingers up, put them hands high. Hold up, a mix of reggae and pop, where Beyonce smashes car windows in a yellow dress, instantly iconic. Freedom, a powerful collaboration with Kendrick Lamar, addressing racial injustice and resilience. The album was a critical and commercial triumph. It won a Peabody Award, an honor usually given to groundbreaking journalism. It became one of the most critically acclaimed albums of all time. It earned Beyonce 9 Grammy nominations, including Album of the Year. But when Lemonade lost Album of the Year to Adele's 25, fans were outraged. Even Adele herself admitted, "I can't accept this award, this belongs to Beyonce." Beyonce may have been snubbed, but Lemonade had already cemented her legacy as one of the greatest artists of all time. Coming up next, the Coachella performance that made history. After Lemonade, Beyonce was ready for her next groundbreaking moment. And in 2018, she delivered the greatest live performance of her career, Beychella. The first Black woman to headline Coachella. A performance inspired by HBCU culture and Black excellence. A live event so iconic that Netflix turned it into a documentary homecoming. Beyonce was no longer just a pop star, was a movement, a cultural leader, and a symbol of excellence. Beychella, the performance that made history. By 2018, Beyonce had already proven she was the greatest performer of her generation. But now, she was about to prove something even bigger, that she was a cultural icon, a revolutionary artist, and a force of nature unlike any other. She wasn't just going to perform, she was going to make history. This was Beychellati Coachella performance that would redefine live music forever. The first Black woman to headline Coachella. Coachella was one of the biggest music festivals in the world. For years, it had been dominated by rock bands, EDM DJs, and white pop stars. But in 2018, Beyonce became the first Black woman to ever headline the festival. And she wasn't just gonna put on a show, she was gonna bring Black culture, history, and excellence to the center of the mainstream stage. Beyonce spent over 8 months preparing for the performance. She trained like an athlete, rehearsing for hours every day. She handpicked 200 dancers, musicians, and performers, making sure they represented HBCU, historically Black colleges and universities, culture. She designed every detail, from the costumes to the lighting, to create a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The performance, a cultural masterpiece. On the 14th of April, 2018, Beyonce walked onto the Coachella stage in a golden Egyptian-inspired cape, channeling the power of Nefertiti, the ancient African queen. And then, for the next 2 hours, she delivered one of the greatest live performances of all time. What made Beychella legendary? A tribute to HBCU culture. The entire performance was inspired by Black marching bands, step teams, and college homecomings. Live vocals and iconic dance moves. Unlike most pop stars who use backing tracks, Beyonce sang every note live while executing flawless choreography. A Destiny's Child reunion, she brought Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams on stage for a surprise Destiny's Child reunion, making fans go wild. A set list of pure perfection. She performed hits from every era of her career, including Crazy in Love, Formation, Run the World, Girl, Love on Top, Drunk in Love. A costume changes that told a story. She wore 4 custom Balmain outfits, each symbolizing different aspects of Black history and power. A message of empowerment, throughout the show. She paid tribute to Black leaders, feminists, and activists, reminding the world that her success was bigger than music. The impact. Why Beychella changed everything. After the show, fans and critics couldn't believe what they had just witnessed. The New York Times called it the greatest performance of the 21st century. Twitter exploded with over 2.8 million mentions of number Beychella in one night. Celebrities, athletes, and world leaders praised her for creating a moment of pure Black excellence. And Beyoncé? She knew this performance was too legendary to be forgotten. So, she turned it into a Netflix documentary, Homecoming, giving fans a behind-the-scenes look at how the historic moment was created. Coming up next, Billionaire Bey, the final stage of her empire. After Beychella, Beyoncé wasn't just a performer, she was a business mogul, a billionaire, and a cultural leader. In the next chapter, we explore how she built a billion-dollar empire with music, fashion, and investments, her historic deal with Adidas, and the rise of Ivy Park, how she became the highest-paid Black female artist in history. Beyoncé wasn't just running the world, she was owning it. Billionaire Bey, the final stage of her empire. After Beychella, Beyoncé had already achieved everything an artist could dream of. She was, the most awarded female artist in Grammy history, the greatest performer of her generation, a global symbol of Black excellence, feminism, and power. But she wasn't just a singer or a performer anymore. She was a business mogul, a cultural architect, and the leader of a billion-dollar empire. Beyoncé was not just running the world, she was owning it. The Ivy Park revolution, Beyoncé conquers fashion. In 2016, Beyoncé launched Ivy Park, her own athleisure brand. The brand focused on empowerment, inclusivity, and athletic fashion. It sold out instantly, proving Beyoncé's influence extended far beyond music. She later signed a groundbreaking partnership with Adidas, turning Ivy Park into a global powerhouse. Every time she dropped a new collection, it sold out within minutes. Beyoncé wasn't just making music anymore, she was setting new trends, defining fashion, and building wealth. The power couple, Jay-Z and Beyoncé as billionaires. Beyoncé and Jay-Z were already the most powerful couple in the music industry. But by 2020, they had officially crossed into billionaire status. Beyoncé's music, tours, and business ventures made her worth over $500 million. Jay-Z, with his music, investments, and businesses, reached a net worth of over $1 billion. Together, they became one of the richest and most influential couples in the world. But unlike other celebrities, Beyoncé and Jay-Z didn't just spend their wealth, they invested it strategically. They bought stakes in major companies, Tidal, Uber, and tech startups. They built a real estate empire, owning luxury homes around the world. They quietly supported Black-owned businesses, investing in the next generation of entrepreneurs. They weren't just icons of music, they were symbols of Black wealth and generational power. Beyoncé's legacy, more than music, more than business. At this stage, Beyoncé had nothing left to prove. She had redefined music as one of the greatest vocalists and performers of all time. Businessly as a self-made mogul who built an empire on her own terms. Culture as a leader in feminism, Black excellence, and activism. She had evolved from a girl from Houston with big dreams to the most powerful woman in entertainment, a young singer and Destiny's Child to the biggest female artist of all time, a performer to a billionaire icon changing the world. Beyoncé had built an empire that would last for generations, because queens don't just reign for a moment, they leave a legacy that never fades. Final thoughts. Beyoncé, the blueprint of greatness. Beyoncé's journey is a masterclass in success. Her story is a reminder that talent alone is not enough. You need discipline, vision, and work ethic. You don't have to follow the rules, you can create your own. A true power isn't just about money or fame, it's about legacy. And that is what makes Beyonce untouchable. She didn't just change music. She didn't just break records. She built a world where women, especially Black women, could see themselves as limitless. And that's why Beyonce isn't just an artist, she's a movement. Long live the Queen. Thank you for watching. If you love this deep dive into Beyonce's life and legacy, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next upload. What is your favorite Beyonce moment? Let us know in the comments.